A topic like abortion is a very heavy one. Like everything, people make jokes and make little of it, but for the sake of this video, I need you all to know that this is going to be pretty serious. My person-to-person series normally is, but I just want everyone to be warned. As always, before we start, we need to know exactly what abortion is. The definition of abortion is the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. Now, why do people get abortions? Are they legal? And are they murder? These are the questions that we're going to cover, and as I said before, this could get a little rough. As you may know, I would never put my own thoughts and ideas on you. I'm just going to go over them objectively, but again, I need to make sure this warning is clear. Let's start with why. There are a lot of reasons someone would get an abortion, normally because they're afraid, or don't have the ability to support a child, or the scariest one, that they're only but children themselves. We hear a lot today, as we have throughout history, of young girls getting pregnant, and the younger you are, the more dangerous pregnancy can be. Children don't have the body for childbirth. It's unnatural before a certain age, and sometimes the only way to save that life is to lay waste to another. Well, Barry, that's not a very fair thing to say. Many people still believe that a fetus is not actually a human life yet, and that's fair. What constitutes as human life is a very heavy and controversial topic. Is it when the entity has a heartbeat? Is it when the entity becomes self-aware? And if so, what's to say about people with heavy disability? But scientifically, the definition of life is a characteristic distinguishing physical entities having biological processes, such as signaling and self-sustaining processes. Many will argue that a fetus needs the mother, so it's not self-sustaining. And others will argue that the signals of intelligence alone prove it is a human life, but when it comes down to it, nobody really does at this juncture have a set yes or no. Laws are put in place around the world, but morally, it's a gray area. So why would people be okay with it? Well, you have to think of it from their side. Imagine making a mistake. Imagine one night you changed everything, and because of it, your entire world could fall apart. Regardless as to whether you believe in your heart or your mind that the child is not yet a life, it could be your only coping mechanism for that hard choice that you have to make. As depressing as it is, it may be the only way for some of us to move on and have a normal life without regret, or becoming depressed over that choice. We as human beings have to find a way to live our lives and be as happy as possible. Making one another feel bad about a decision that they had to make doesn't help anything. Okay, so Barry, is it murder? This is the controversial part. As of right now, there's only legislation. From a human standpoint, evicting a fetus could be the right decision, depending on the circumstances. Take, for example, a young girl who made a mistake. Many could say that she should have planned better, and yes, I'll agree, but now she's in the situation, and this is the one that was given to her. The child is unhealthy. If she gives birth to this child, she could die, and the child may also not survive. If you're a strong supporter of human life, the decision may seem less evil. Aborting the child would save the girl's life, and she could grow up not only to mature and learn from this, but understand how important and fragile human life is. Then again, if you're getting an abortion just because you don't want a child, that's the one that is seen as heartless and wrong. But there are so many things to take into consideration that this whole thing is hard to say for certain. We can't go to court every single time and let a judge tell us if it's okay or not. That's too many wasted resources, but we can't have open clinics aborting babies whenever we feel like it, can we? Again, it's a gray area, at least to most. When it comes to most religion, abortion is a huge no. According to God, all life is sacred, and to Him, all killing, even pre-birth, is murder. But again, who can say for certain? I know I've said it before, and I say it in all my videos. I'm not going to force my opinions at you. I just want to look at it from every angle. That being said, those who think evicting a fetus from a womb isn't murder and should even be paid for by the government, I think that's a step too far. I can understand that maybe you made a mistake and aren't financially ready for a child, but if you can have a child without any severe repercussions health-wise, it could be fair to give that child a shot at life. Some could argue that the foster system would be a worse place for the child, and aborting them may actually be the best thing for them, but again, that's up to you. I just fear that one day there could be a time when abortions are legal and perhaps even paid for by the government. I think about how abused that would be, how irresponsible as a people we could become, letting science clean up the mistakes we made so that we can just continue to make them and not learn from them. I know I may sound like I'm against abortion, but if it grants people a free pass so they don't have to learn, take a little responsibility, don't have to realize that life is something you have to take seriously, then dang right, I'm against it. And for those on the other side, those who are very, very against it and would even recommend the girl from the example just die and hope the child survives, I think that is regressive as well. Everything has a middle ground, but I think this topic is so controversial because it's also middle ground. The entire thing is a gray area, but people all live different lives. Judging someone for making a decision like abortion and having no idea how it affects them, no idea how they made it, or no idea if it was even their own choice, that's the part with no gray area. You guys know why I make this series. Everyone is different, and there are going to be decisions you won't agree with, things you won't understand, but life is different. I have a story for you guys before I go, and if the story touches you, hurts you, or makes you feel something in any way, you may want to really think about your position on this. I'm not saying you ever have to change your opinions, but looking at things from every angle is always better. The story is titled The Diary of an Unborn Child. October 5th. Today my life began. My parents don't know it yet, but I'm here. I'm a girl. I'll have blonde hair and blue eyes. All my genetic imprints are present. Also, that I'll have a weakness for flowers. October 19th. Some say I'm not a real person yet, and only my mother exists, but I am a real person. Just like a crumb of bread is bread, my mother exists, and I do too. October 23rd. Now my mouth opens. In about a year, I'll be able to laugh and speak. I know what my first word will be. Mommy. October 25th. Today my heart began to beat. From now on, it will beat for the rest of my life without ever stopping to take a break. Only after many years will it stop beating and I will die. November 2nd. Every day I grow more. My arms and legs are forming, but it will be a long time until I can stand on those tiny legs and run into the arms of my mother, until I can pick flowers with those tiny arms and hug my father. November 20th. Just today, the doctor told my mother that I live beneath her heart. Oh, how happy she must be. Are you happy, Mommy? November 25th. Mommy and Daddy are probably trying to come up with a name for me, but they don't know I'm a little girl. I would love to be called Susie. I've already grown so much. December 10th. My hair is starting to grow. It's soft and with beautiful shine. Wonder what kind of hair Mommy has. December 13th. Soon I'll be able to see. It is dark around me. When Mommy gives birth, I'll be able to see sunshine and flowers, but the best will be to see my Mommy. I wonder what you look like. December 24th. I wonder if Mommy hears the whispers of my heart. Some children are born ill, but my heart is strong and healthy. It beats evenly. Bum bum, bum bum. Mommy, you will have a healthy little daughter. December 28th. Today, my mother killed me. She just killed me. Life doesn't always feel good, guys. Sometimes it hurts, and it hurts a lot. But I'm not going to shy away from something because it causes pain, because some things need to be addressed. To ignore them is irresponsible, and if I am ever found in this situation, I too will have a severe decision to make. Making sure I know as much as possible is my coping mechanism. The decision is based around the legalities of your countries and states, but again, everything is person to person.